Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's video we are playing Slave a Princess. This is a demo for a game that's coming out later this year, I believe, or perhaps early next year. I can't quite remember exactly when it's releasing, but it's meant to be quite substantial, this demo. It's actually meant to contain a hefty portion of the finished game. So in today's video we're going to play through it. There's meant to be multiple endings. I'll try and unlock all of them for you as well, and include everything in this one video. So this is a kind of point and click adventure game, I think, where we try and basically save this princess, but it's obviously got a lot of psychological horror elements to it as well, so it should be quite an interesting playthrough. I do like these kinds of games. Obviously we just did Cooking Companions, which is a similar kind of thing. So yeah, let's dive into Slave a Princess and see what this game is all about. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess. Okay.
You're on a path.
Oh, it's got a narrator. Nice.
And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I don't have to read constantly, guys.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
That's a bit ominous. So we got to slave a princess. Maybe we can save her though. I don't know. And maybe it won't be the end of the world. Okay, so we've got some options here. Explore the end of a world. What are you talking about? Ah, this is what we can say back to the narrator. So it's kind of like we're speaking to the narrator. We can say, have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to enter the world is because she's locked up? We can say, killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Or we can say, can't someone else do this? I'll say, have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to enter the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
Okay.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
So basically, he's saying that, you know, everything has a cause and effect and there's always going to be this outcome no matter what. I don't know. Let's keep going.
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
So we can ask him, what about the end of the world?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Right, okay. We could say, but how can a princess locked away in a basement be the end of a world? Or, if you don't tell me why she's dangerous, I'm not going to kill her. I guess we could say, do you have any evidence to back this up? Or killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? I'll say, if you don't tell me why, I won't kill her.
She's not dangerous. She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out. Which she will, unless you do something about it.
Do you have any evidence?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Maybe the narrator is like trying to trick us though. I don't know. These kind of games, they do try and trick you, don't they? And make you believe one thing and then something else is actually true. So let's just keep going. So we could say, okay, what happens if she gets out then? I want specifics. Yeah, let's say that.
The more specifics you have, the harder it will be for you to do this very important job. She's a princess. People will listen to her, because listening to her is in their nature. And when they do, everything will come crashing down.
Right, yeah, you're very hazy on the details there, my guy. It doesn't fill me with the most confidence. I'll say, look, I'll go to the cabin and talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say, then maybe I'll slay her. But I'm not committing to anything until I've had the chance to meet her face to face. We can also say, you know, I'm sold straight away. You can see what we can say here, guys. Or we can just walk towards the cabin. I'll say this to him. Look, I'll go to the cabin and talk to her.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Yeah, but you're kind of making me just believe you at the moment, Mr. Narrator. I want to hear her side as well, and then I'll make my decision. You know, based on everything, based on all the facts.
Then each and every one of us is doomed.
You don't know that, man.
So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
I will go and talk to her. Let's go, guys.
You make your way
There's
up
the cabin.
short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Okay.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
The voice of the hero sounds kind of like the voice of the narrator, which is a bit odd.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
So wait, it's weird because it's kind of like we've got the voice of the hero and the voice of the narrator, and then the narrator isn't talking to the voice of the hero, the narrator's talking to us, the player. It's kind of like the Stanley Parable a little bit. But it's kind of like, yeah, the voice of the hero, the character we're playing as, the narrator's aware of them, and they're trying to talk to us, but he wants to only talk to us, the player, which is really, it's like breaking the fourth wall. All right, proceed to the cabin, let's go. It's interesting so far, this game. I'm quite enjoying it. Like the concept, but I'm a bit apprehensive.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Pristine, eh?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay, I guess I'll take it. Take the blade. I guess we should take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
I feel like we've maybe made a mistake by taking it. The music just suddenly stopped. Anyway, let's go to the basement, I guess.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Oh, it's the princess.
It's commanding, almost as though she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Okay. So I could just say hi back to her, or just checking in on you, or hey, I think I'm here to kill you. Continue down the stairs. I'll just continue down the stairs for now.
You're still listening to reason.
Well, I'm just gonna go and see her, but I don't want to startle her too much. So look, she's chained up.
Stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
All right.
Are you here to kill me or something?
Yes, actually. What? No way. Why would you even think that? Or, okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to slay you. Or, or I haven't decided yet. Or I'm just here to talk, steal your nerves and step forward. Should we just say, okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to slay you. I haven't decided yet, I'll say.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
I'll tighten my grip for now.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
She looks really sad about that. Well, I guess she has reason to be, but...
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see the razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing.
Should we drop the blade, maybe?
If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Okay. What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills us? Are you sure she's not armed? I'm sorry, can we just talk? We can say that, or I'm not dropping the blade, or drop the blade, slay the princess. We could slay the princess, because that probably leads to one ending. So let's try that.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through.
Look, she's about to get us.
A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured.
Wow, she just took us down. She's like Terminator or something.
Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
She's just annihilating us.
We can still turn this around.
Wait, look at our hand. It's like a claw. Like, our hand is like, it's all scaly. It's like a lizard's talon or something. That's really weird. So we don't even look human. Give up, finish the job, flee and lock her in the basement. Finish the job, let's go.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either.
Okay.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we're just gonna die. And why are we over this weird lizard thing?
Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job.
Nice to know.
The two
we got her.
Flash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
Oh no. I kind of feel sorry for her. I don't know why, because she's meant to be evil, but I kind of get the sense maybe she's not that black and white, you know? She might not be fully evil, I don't know.
This was fun.
She seemed to enjoy it. She enjoyed her final moments on Earth battling.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would, but I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
Well, seeing as the game has multiple endings, no.
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. But you don't have the time to worry over such things. Everything goes black, and you die.
Okay, so that's an ending. I just got an achievement for it. Chapter 2, The Fury. Okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
It's got a lot more sinister now, hasn't it? Even though the dialogue is the same as the first time, it feels more ominous. So it kind of feels like, is this like a time loop type thing? Because we've gone back to the start, but because we slayed her, it's almost like the world has become worse because we slayed her. You get what I'm saying, guys? It seems like if we kill her, we're making the world worse, and this narrator's trying to trick us, is the sense I get so far. So we can say I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu. Wait, hasn't this already happened? But I died, what am I doing here? So let's have a look at all these options. Oh, don't you worry, I'll gladly slay the princess, she's got it coming. I'll say but I died, what's going on?
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, You're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago.
Alright, calm down.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Ah, so the narrator hasn't remembered or doesn't want us to remember maybe, but maybe he hasn't remembered.
There's nothing we can do to stop her.
Oh, there's a new voice.
She's going to kill us again.
Voice of a broken soul. Is that like the lost soul's voice of the person that died last time?
Oh, is there another one of us in here? If you go to the cabin, you might as well just throw yourself at her feet and beg for mercy.
I kind of want to find out what happens if we keep, like killing her to begin with and then work from there.
You are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff that pathetic little voice to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Okay. So what I've got the option to do now is just turn around and leave. Let's see what happens if we do turn around and leave, and then we can reload the save and, proceed forward as normal.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave?
We've got another achievement for that. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going the cabin, and I'm not going to the cabin. Or we could just say, quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Let's not even acknowledge the narrator, let's just walk away.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Now he's narrating us, yeah. This game is quite clever.
That's strange.
Wait, why we got to the cabin?
It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
That's weird, so it's kind of like it is looping. No matter what we do, it loops back to the cabin. Let's just try leaving again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Alright, well, I'm gonna live with that. I don't believe you. I don't care, I'm not killing a princess. Good, maybe everyone should die. It's what they get for dumping me in the woods and asking me to kill someone for them. Or maybe we say you're not emotionally blackmailing me into doing this. Or just quietly continue down the path. I'm just gonna continue down the path.
Silence is deafening.
I know. You don't like it, do you? You don't like when I don't talk to
Fine.
you.
You turn around and trek back down the path you came.
And back at the cabin we are.
Look at that. You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation.
I think we're gonna have to confront the princess, guys. Oh yeah, well I guess I start walking in a different direction. Again, in fact, I'm going to just keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place. We could try it one last time,
There's
guys.
Always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
Okay.
And here we go.
Oh.
As you trudge into the woods, something
Got to another
strange
area.
starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on
Wow,
your surroundings,
there's many
you
cabins.
start to realise that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin.
That is freaky.
The cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
I don't know who to believe here, guys, because we've got all these cabins appearing now, and it almost seems like the narrator is telling the truth to some degree, because things are definitely going awry. But then he might be controlling this, not the princess. I really don't know. I think there's definitely something up with the princess. We continue, right? We see what happens.
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Well, that's what he says. I mean, we don't know that, right? Chapter 2, again? The Stranger. Ah, okay.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I don't think we have the option anymore. We don't have the option to walk away anymore. We only have the option to proceed to the cabin in some way. So, you know, we could have all this dialogue with the narrator, but I don't think there's a lot of point. I think the best thing to do is to keep him happy and say, yeah, okay, I'm definitely going to slay the princess. We go to the cabin. I think we've basically had 2 endings so far, guys, because they're kind of like endings, what we've unlocked, but each ending isn't like the true ending yet. So let's go and say we'll slay the princess.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you.
Oh, he can tell when it says lie. Okay, I won't do that again. Just thought we'd trick him, you know?
I have one last warning for you.
Wait, isn't this different? I've just realized there's like a wall around the cabin now to stop us walking away. That's kind of weird.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Maybe we should believe her.
Contrarian. Oh, we got another voice now.
Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore them, they're just being difficult for the sake of it.
Okay, well, we have to proceed. It's the only option we get. Keep getting these new voices.
The interior of the cabin is odd, the air smelling faintly of plastic, the wood of the walls fitting together at uncomfortable angles.
We've heard this.
The blade is... If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust. Or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyways?
Maybe we don't take the blade this time, guys. Maybe,
I, for one, would rather
leave
have
it.
We don't really know what we're dealing with here. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise?
Well, let's take the blade. Let's go with the route we've started on, which is to slay her. And then after I've done this playthrough, guys, where we slay her, I'm going to take a different approach, and we're going to talk to her, learn more about her, which will be interesting. But to start with, we'll go with what the narrator's saying.
It'd be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Right, let's enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old wooden staircase.
I'm going to skip all these bits, guys. We've already heard this. Oh, she's changed.
Is someone there?
That's actually freaky. That took me by surprise. I was expecting her to go, oh, hi, who's there again? But now she kind of sounds almost like demonic and possessed, like a siren out at sea or something.
This isn't what I expected her to sound like.
Me neither, buddy.
What is she? I think we'd all like to know.
Right, let's go.
Carefully make your way down the stairs. As you descend the
wow, she looks a bit different, doesn't she?
The form of the princess comes into view. She looks one moving a little faster than the other. The loose skin of her face stretches into something resembling a smile.
That's freaky. Look at her face. It's like Momo or something.
Good lord. Something in her neck bulges, roiling under her skin as she starts to speak, her voice pouring out between her closed teeth.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I had a friend.
Okay. Sure, I'll be your friend. Oh, that's the end. So we got an achievement called The Stranger. Thank you for playing. There's 7 endings in the demo and many more ways to die. So was that just one ending, or was that like, have we unlocked 3 endings so far? I don't know. So this is 7 endings total. That's quite a lot. So, I mean, we could just keep replaying, guys. I think because it's quite short to get up to that point, I'll just kind of, I'll show you guys another outcome potentially. Okay, so this time, guys, we're going to say, okay, don't you worry, I'll gladly slay the princess, she's got it coming.
Such magnificent gusto. We'll all be in the clear in no time.
I don't know if this is going to change stuff when we get to the cabin.
I have one last warning. She will lie.
Skip all this.
Ignore them. They don't know what they're...
So we're going to go into the cabin. I'm just going to skip all the dialogue because we've heard it.
The interior of the cabin is the blade.
So let's take the blade.
You take the blade.
And then let's enter the basement and let's see if she still morphs or changes.
Her fierce voice.
Who's there?
Oh, see, her voice is different. She says, who's there? She hasn't actually morphed yet into that weird creature. She's still a bit human, but her voice has changed a little bit.
It's somehow even fiercer than it was before.
Of course it is. Don't let it intimidate you. You carefully make your way down the stairs.
Oh, so she's like a demon now with a tail.
The form of the princess comes into view, a large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall.
Is it just me, or is she bigger than last time? It looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Yeah, that is a strong, powerful woman right there. Look at her, sort of her stature, her pose. She's looking down on us like, you pathetic human. I'm just gonna destroy you.
I told you. It's pointless.
I was wondering when I might have company. Free me from my bindings, and maybe I'll let you live for a while.
Don't know about that. Oh, so that's another ending. Yeah, that ending's called The Fury. So we've unlocked 2 endings so far, guys. It seems like the endings you get very much differ based on the point in the game where you make a definitive decision based on something. Maybe if we go back to our first save when we first meet the princess here, but this time what we say to her is, basically, okay, we'll put the blade down, we're gonna just hear you out and see what happens then. So this is chapter 1 again, and we'll say, I'm gonna drop the blade.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Okay, let's talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
Yep.
We'll be fine.
We're just gonna talk. The voice of reason. Sometimes talking is better than violence. That's what I was always taught.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
We'll see about that.
So, this is a pretty awkward start to a relationship.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward. We can say, a relationship? Are you coming on to me? I don't think I want to say that, kind of sounds weird. How would I get you out of here? I'm here because you're going to end the world. Maybe we should start with just, what's your name? In fact, no, I'll say I'm here because you're going to end the world, and let's see what she says back to that. Or, no, wait, look. We can also say there's people out there who think you're a threat to the world. What do you have to say to that?
Don't just tell her that.
We have to tell her. The narrator's like really annoyed about that.
Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster?
Well, we already know you are because we've got to one of the endings. We've seen your true form, so we do know that, but I'll humor you.
Did they even bother to tell you how I'm supposed to end the world? Because that just doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd be capable of.
Right, okay. Well, what are you gonna do if I let you out of here? I've been told enough. I was hoping you'd tell me. No, but I'm sure that they have their reasons for keeping that information secret from me. I could say no, and if I'm being honest, I'm more inclined to trust you than I am to trust them, or just remain silent. I'll deflect.
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I don't think what I do really matters. Look, at the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
It's true. Sorry, I skipped a little bit of what she said there, guys. I accidentally misclicked. But she's basically saying, that doesn't quite feel right. Although we do know that she can change, but maybe she only changes if we try and kill her. Maybe it's like trying to kill her is the catalyst for her change.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or any other number of good things that I'm sure you want to hear.
I don't really care, as long as you don't end the world.
But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
That is true
She's
as
right
well.
about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So, do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
Oh yeah, I never really thought about that. Who did put her here? Because I always just assumed she was there because she was a danger, and we have seen that she can be a danger, but we don't know what this narrator is, this all-seeing eye, so to speak.
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
So I'll ask her her name at this point. Seems like the right thing to do, properly introduce ourselves.
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Alright, well you're not in a position to bargain, just give us your real name.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Okay, that's very vague again. Should we just say a relationship? Are you coming on to me?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Yeah, well that's what I would have said, but you know, I want to explore all the options. Let's ask, how would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here. And if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
So she wants us to give her the blade so she can like pick the lock and free herself. But obviously if we do that, she could just easily kill us.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
So at this point we have a number of options again. We can slay the princess, we can examine the chains and say, I'm getting you out of here. Keep her locked away. I'm going to keep you locked away down here, at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do. I'm going to explore more about the princess in a moment, guys. I've made a save here, but for now, we'll examine the chains and we'll say, I'm getting you out of here, you know, and we'll try and break her out and to see what happens if we do that.
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
She swayed us, narrator, I'm sorry, and look how happy she looks.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Oh, we're going on a new
Whoever locked
quest.
the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
And if it isn't a key, do you have any ideas besides? Besides me cutting you out of here? We can say that. Or we can say, I'm going to check upstairs, maybe the key is still lying around somewhere up there. And if not, maybe I can at least find something better to break you free. Okay, let's say that.
I'll be here.
Let's go and have a check.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Alright, this isn't good.
Is someone else here?
Hey, let me out of here, I could say.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task.
That's gotta be the narrator, isn't it? Like, locking us inside. Has to be him. We could try the door.
But it's locked from the outside.
Can you not just, like, ram it open with your shoulder?
I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
See, the fact that he's forcing us to do this leaves me a bit hesitant. We've got to return.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yep.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
So we've got two options, free or slay. Let's free her.
Against your better
Oh, we
judgment,
cut her hand open.
you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp and you make quick work of it. Before long you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet.
That's one way to get free, I guess. I thought she was going to pick the lock.
She didn't so much as utter a sound. The princess clutches the wound, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Well, we know she's supernatural, don't we? So I guess she doesn't really feel pain in the same way. Maybe it'll regrow even. Maybe she's like an X-Man or something. Approach the locked door. We're going to go with the princess now.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
He's making us do this now, as the narrator's controlling us.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
So we've only got the options to slay the princess. Oh, we've got one option to warn her. I'll warn her.
Stop that.
Oh. I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess dodges? Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
I'm not so sure about that, my guy. I'll resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes.
She's warming again. Her text goes red when she's kind of angry or she's turning more demonic. When she's more like just, not exactly a human form because I don't think she's human, but when she's more like kind of calm and nice, it turns to this white text.
I'll make this quick.
She knocks your legs out
She's
from
got
under
us.
you with a swift kick. You didn't even see it coming. You fall to the ground, the wind leaving your lungs all at once in a violent puff, and her knee settles on your throat. You try to gasp for air, but she pushes on your windpipe with weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. You won't draw another breath. When she manages to escape from this place and brings ruin to the world, know that it was all your fault. It can't just end like this, right?
Yeah, surely we can get a slightly better ending for, resisting that.
As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happening. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh, chapter 2, the damsel. Oh yeah, because that was chapter 1. So now it has changed our path into chapter 2.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
So this time, let's see if we can go back to the princess and again not slay her, guys. Let's just humor him. Let's say, we'll gladly slay the princess, and now when we get to the cabin, we won't.
Such magnificent.
Because I don't know if maybe,
rolling clear in
when we
no
get to the cabin this time, if she won't have changed.
I have one last warning for you. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she
The
says.
voice of doubting.
Just go in,
It's a new
take
voice.
the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say the word wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink.
So this is a voice of doubting. This is a new voice, which means it probably leads to a new ending.
Just ignore this clown, and focus on the princess.
He's basically saying don't do anything. Take the knife, keep the narrator thinking that you're going to go along with it, but don't actually do anything. So we'll proceed to the cabin. So we will take the knife, but I do wonder what will happen if we don't take the knife one time.
The interior of the cabin is all. The blade is your
For now, I'm going to take it.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light, and her voice carries.
Hello? Is someone there?
See, look, this time her voice, guys, again, it's perfectly human. It hasn't changed at all, because we didn't kill her.
It's even more hypnotizing than before.
Is it more hypnotizing than before, or is that just what we want it to be?
It's an interesting perspective. The hero's in love with her.
For everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just don't let her charm you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Okay.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's still so beautiful. And she has both of her arms again. Did everything we just went through actually happen?
It must have, because she's different. Can't you tell?
You. I remember you. You're going to help me get out of here, right?
Oh, we got an achievement, so that's another ending. The damsel. So it seems like when we get to chapter 2, our choices based on chapter 1 will change. Okay guys, so now I've come back to this ending where it said, we had the option to keep her locked away for a little bit longer while we got to know her better, because we haven't pursued this route yet. I was trying to figure out what routes we hadn't looked into yet. So this is one of those.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help.
She's getting angrier because you can see that her text is turning red again.
And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
So we can help her escape, which we did before, slay her, which we did before, or I made my choice, I'm locking her in the basement.
I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work. If we just stay here and keep watch, no one has to die.
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way to the stairs.
The door's gonna lock again, isn't it?
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You can still turn around and finish the job.
No, we're sticking to the plan and locking her down here, or... Oh, thank God, I was afraid I'd already committed to not slaying her. I'm gonna keep going, I guess?
You'll be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way.
So we're just getting out of there,
You
putting a
close the
table
basement
there.
door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade.
Okay, we can make this work.
You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there.
That's creepy.
You make things easier on yourself and let me out. It's not like this little door I'll hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare.
As she violently rattles the door, do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and and I'll never forget it.
Looks like we're screwed, guys. No matter what happens now, she's gonna get out and just destroy us.
You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
So I can say, threaten me all you want. All it does is ease my guilty conscience. Or we can say, so all of that was just an act, wasn't it? You're not really innocent or harmless. You're not even a princess, you're a monster. Or we can ignore her and go to sleep. I guess I'll say, so all that was just an act.
I can be innocent and harmless, if I want to be. Teasing me with fresh air and a chance to finally live freely doesn't inspire me to play nice.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You
Oh,
jolt
she's
awake
out.
in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping
Oh,
me
she's
get
like
out
an
of that
apparition.
awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach.
I think we made a mistake here.
Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I
That is
can't
horrible.
take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It looks like it.
Can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
We keep dying. There must be a way not to die, because I think we've died every time pretty much. Oh no, we've got a new chapter 2, The Nightmare now. It's got a different title.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of
So
that
it's
cabin
weird. It's almost
is a
like
princess.
we have a chapter 1 where we make all these decisions, and then in chapter 2 it's like a time loop. It goes back, and then we get like the final outcome that gives us a new ending, which, you know, we talked about before earlier in the video, but it is interesting that happens. So now is like a really good time, I think, to probably like just go straight back to the cabin and see what's different. This is the narrator's warning, which
lie.
we always get.
She will
Will
cheat.
we get a new voice?
She will do. Oh God.
Yes, voice of a
Can't
meek.
go in there. Do either of you feel sick? Because I feel sick just thinking about that place. We're going to die. You should be careful. There's something very wrong going on here. Ignore them. They don't know what they're talking about. She's just a princess. No reason to get all freaked out.
Okay, so let's proceed to the cabin. Now, do we take the knife or do we just go into the cabin this time? That's the question.
The interior of the
Ooh, it's
cabin is
different.
plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only item of furniture is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. No. The basement door. It isn't there anymore. She could be anywhere.
Yeah, she's probably not going to still be in the basement, right?
It's just a frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting.
So it's like they don't remember. Look, there's actually something there, I think, looking out from the side of a doorway. No, there's lots of souls. Look, 1, 2, 3. That's really weird.
No, what did you do? This isn't how things are supposed to go. She's supposed to be an ordinary princess. Quick, the blade.
Go ahead and take your little toy. It won't do you any good.
Your legs go numb before you even have a chance to reach for the blade. You collapse to the floor as your lungs seize up, refusing to take in air. No, not again!
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I. I wonder how many times I'll get to play
that's
with
really
you
scary.
before you break.
Everything goes dark.
That's a new ending, then.
And you die.
That's called Princess Souls, that ending. I don't think the Steam achievement shows up for you guys, but yeah, that's a new ending.
I'm sorry.
Oh, and another ending called The Nightmare. So guys, I don't know, like, how many more endings are left? I think we've got at least 5 or 6 by now, right? So there might be like 1 or 2 more endings to unlock. Because I think that counts as like a double ending, because you got like the 1 ending for chapter 1, 1 ending for chapter 2 maybe. Okay guys, so this time I'm not going to take the dagger at all in chapter 1.
The interior of the cabin.
So we're just going to leave it here.
The blade.
So we'll skip all this and we'll just enter the basement without taking the blade. And I'm going to try like basically seeing what happens if we just don't have the blade from the off.
The door to the basement creaked her voice.
Hello?
It's hypnotizing.
We'll be nice to her as
It's
well.
the kind of voice you only have to hear once.
Don't let it fool you.
So we've heard all this, so we'll just say hi back. We didn't say hi last time, so let's say hi to her.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
I'm gonna see what happens if we're just completely nice to her. We don't have a blade or anything.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her.
She's beautiful.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
I'll see what I can do.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
See, from the off, we're just being nice and she's very different to us now. She's very like, because we know that she's trying to trick us, but like, I obviously want to know what happens. You guys want to see all the endings, so
No.
let's just go along
You're
with it.
doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day.
So I'm gonna go and check upstairs, we'll say.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to
This
make
is
your
where we
way
get
out
locked
of the
in, I
basement.
think.
Someone else.
Yeah, we're locked in. So, return to the bottom of the stairs, back to the princess.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
The music's just stopped. It's kind of, that's a little bit eerie, guys, that the music just ended. So she's gonna try and get out herself this time.
She barely hesitates
Oh,
before raising
okay.
her arm to her mouth.
She just bites her arm.
Tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
It's kind of visceral, you know?
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you. The clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its
Wait,
way
what?
down here, but if there's a time
We
to
didn't
strike,
take it.
it's now.
See, this is why I think the narrator is interfering a lot. He locked the door, now he's dropped the blade down here suddenly.
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Okay, so I guess maybe if we just slay her quickly now, because she's not going to expect it, maybe that'll work.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally, the wound drives her to the ground.
Actually worked this time.
Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
Well, it didn't set out that way if it's any consolation.
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see that razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing. I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us.
Maybe we can still get her, I don't know guys. Did we make the wrong choice?
It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you.
I'm not so sure.
Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw.
Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got.
We've got to do it, guys. Slay her.
You know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees.
We can still turn this around.
Okay, so we can give up, finish the job, run for the stairs and lock her in the basement. Maybe she'll bleed out. I'm going to finish the job, but I will come back in a minute and we'll try it again by leaving her in the basement.
You resolve to take another step closer to the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can still make sure that she won't make it out of here either.
Excuse me? What's this about not making it out of here alive?
Do you think
We're
this
dead,
is what
buddy.
I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing right now. Don't act so surprised. Can you not feel all those gashes and holes pulling our friend apart? If the princess doesn't do them in here, blood loss is certain to finish the job. You take another step forward, and the princess lunges towards you. The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blade and claw and fleshy ribbons, and then you stop. Neither you nor princess able to go any further. You collapse.
So we die
on the
again.
ground, and the princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade away.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
So are you. It's like we're perfect company for each other, you know?
Starts to get fuzzy around you. You've paid a terrible price, but you've saved us all. It's over.
I don't know if it is. I don't trust that.
You're sorely mistaken. One way or another, I'll make sure you pay for this.
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and that terrifying conviction in her words.
But you don't have the time left to worry about such things. Everything goes black, and you die.
Now we get chapter 2, The Beast. Ah, yeah, The Beast. That's a new chapter. So this is going to be a new ending.
In the wood, you're here to.
Let's say this time, but I already slew the princess. Sure, she also killed me, but I definitely got her. Why am I here again?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened,
I can still feel each.
We've got the voice of the obsessed
puncture
now.
and laceration. That beast hurt us, but we're going to hurt her back.
So he's obsessed with getting her for what she's
One of us
done.
in here? Good. It seems like your head's in the right place. If you can all just stay focused on the task at hand, the princess will be good and slain in no time at all.
Good and slain. Okay. Okay, don't worry, I'll gladly
Such
slay the princess.
magnificent gusto.
Let's go up.
We'll all be in the clear in no time.
Let's see what happens.
I have one last warning for you. She will lie.
He's right, you know. She's a clever one, and determined too. Keep your eyes open and your senses sharp, because we're not going to let her get the best of us again.
Yeah, so this is the voice of the obsessed. And he's basically saying, you know, they're going to do anything they can to make sure she's in the ground again.
Ignore him, she's just a princess. Don't overestimate her.
Why is the narrator so hellbent on making us feel like she's just a princess? So that's a bit sus. So proceed to the cabin. And we're going to see what happens when we go through.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated.
Yeah, it looks more crooked
It feels
now.
like no one has lived here for a long time. Wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only item of furniture is a plain, termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
So do we take the dagger or do we just go down?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Yes, do it. Take the blade and make her pay for what she's done.
Do we take the blade? We didn't take the blade last time, you see. We just got it at the last moment. So maybe we don't take the blade. Maybe just enter the basement.
The door to the basement creeps open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're stepping down into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
It isn't hypnotizing anymore. It's almost feral.
Yeah, she's become the beast, hasn't she, as the title described for this chapter.
You're playing a dangerous game by coming down here unarmed.
You absolute fool. You know what she's capable of.
You carefully make your way down the stairs.
Look at
As you
her.
ascend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, a large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall.
You're the reason I'm still down here. Fiend, monster, betrayer. Nothing will get between my teeth and your throat.
Okay, so that's the beast ending. Okay guys, this time what we're going to do is we're going to take the blade, go into the basement and just kind of walk right up to her and see if we can do the deed, okay?
You take the blade from the table.
So skip through all of this, we're just going to go straight to her. When she calls out, we're not going to answer her.
Her voice.
Who's there?
It's commanded. Don't let it.
So we're just going to walk straight down the stairs.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
I don't think we've seen this path yet. So we'll listen to the dialogue, see if it changes.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
Are you here to kill me or something?
Let's just step forward.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see the razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing.
I reckon we just go for it, guys.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Yeah, Slayer.
You lunge forward.
This is
without a
different.
moment's
We've got something
hesitation.
different finally. So we've just lunged forward. She didn't expect us to do this, I don't think.
You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
So we actually got the heart as well for a change.
Oh, this is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming, but I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
I don't know. Maybe this was enough to kill her?
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face.
So she's dead. We actually got her this time.
But is it over? Really over?
Of course it is, she's dead. I'm not sure, I feel like she has some kind of trick up her sleeve. I'll say that.
It's over. You could check her sleeves if you want, but I can assure you that there's nothing hidden up there.
Okay.
With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience.
I don't feel too bad. I mean, it seems like this is a time loop, so she'll just come back anyway, right?
But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Should we leave? I guess we just leave, right?
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only,
Oh,
a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of space.
so it's like the narrator did trick us. I reckon he's the one that wants the end of the world to occur. And from killing the princess, it's triggered the end of the world. There's just a void out there now.
What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
I don't know that we will. I still wonder why we're kind of like a monstrous creature with like talons and stuff. He says, let me out of here. Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping I'd get a better ending for saving the world. I'll say that.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward.
Okay, so is this even an ending? It must be, right?
This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Yeah, we need to get out of here. This is nuts. Didn't you hear the narrator? I'm happy, we're happy. Or we can say, hell no, do you have any idea how to get us the heck out of here? Or we can say, of course we are, I like it here. Let's see if he knows how we can get out of here.
I do, but you're probably not going to like it.
Okay, path of the course.
The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out.
We gotta slay ourselves.
Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
Okay, so we can say, wouldn't using the blade, kill us? Wouldn't we be dead? Or we'd say, anything to get out of this hell, or, you're right, I didn't like the idea, I'm just gonna stick around and do nothing, at least for a little while longer. I'm gonna say, anything to get out of this hell.
Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate?
It's kind of lonely though, apart from these voices in our head, right?
Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs.
Oh.
The princess's body is dust and bones.
She's just bones.
Though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end.
Nice knowing you.
Nice knowing you.
I like that, it's funny. Ooh, chapter 2 The Spectre, we've got a new ending chapter. So that did lead to something.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Well, the princess isn't around anymore, right?
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I'll say, okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine.
Ooh, a new voice.
It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again.
So this is a new voice we got.
Is there another one of us in here? I've always been here. I've just gotten a little louder. And I'm ready for all of us to have a marvelous time. Just Stay focused on the task at hand.
Let's just say sure, I'll handle her, no problem.
Such magnificent gusto. We'll all be in the clear in no time.
We'll go up to the cabin, we'll see what's what.
I have one last warning for you. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. You're right. She won't be a problem. I'm not sure I'm a fan of my new roommate. I think there's a lot more to this situation.
Yeah, he is very cold, that's for sure.
The situation couldn't be more straightforward. Just ignore him.
Right, proceed to the cabin then, let's go. Let's see what's changed this time in the Spectre ending. Oh, look at it, it's all dilapidated.
A soft odour of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only item of furniture is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. Before you have a chance to even think about taking it,
oh yeah,
the top
Spectre,
of a hand
look.
appears from underneath the floorboards. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? A ghost!
A ghost, it is a ghost. Look, a Spectre. She's come back from the dead, still with the chains on her arm as well.
Oh, wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, killer. I guess we've got some things to talk about, haven't we? Like how you murdered me?
That's a new ending, guys, the Spectre. I think that's the final ending. That's the last one I think we can get. So I believe that's everything now. Okay guys, well that was Slay the Princess, full playthrough and all endings included in this video, and yeah, it was actually a really cool game. I liked that it had this kind of confusing internal struggle with the narrator and the different voices of the past souls, it seems, like the past parts of our personality that had fallen to the princess, and then you had the princess who you weren't quite sure on. Like, we discovered fairly early on that she was some kind of paranormal entity, but we didn't know if maybe we could save her, if there was like a way we could save her from becoming that sort of demonic entity. I don't think there is, but she's kind of, I don't know if it's almost like an eldritch type thing, but it's very interesting, and I don't know what they're gonna do to expand it to the full game. It does seem like there's quite a lot in this demo, but I guess they can take the concept further. Like, we only get 2 chapters in the demo, maybe the full game has like 6 chapters or something, and it's more in-depth and the story goes a lot further, has a lot more of a apocalyptic conclusion potentially. I'm not really sure, but definitely for the demo, you got your, I was gonna say you got your money's worth, but, oh look, screen's just changed. That's kind of weird. It's like there's 2 sides to the princess, isn't it? It's kind of weird, she's like fighting internally. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting game. I might play the full game when it comes out actually there. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed my little playthrough today of Slay the Princess, and if you have, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I will see you all on the next one.